Alright then, hey, Shiki here, and it looks like we've just been given a second trailer in as many days for Advance Wars Reboot Camp, so we're going to be talking over that today. Looks like we haven't been given anything particularly new, but what you can hear in the background, which is new, is we finally get to hear what some of the music for the game sounds like. This is currently Andy's theme from a new game which you're hearing at the moment, as well as what it sounds like in combat. It seems they've added a slight remix of the tune almost when you enter a combat state, which is quite interesting. I knew we'd heard rumours about that being true, but it's nice to hear that kind of confirmed, I suppose, and going along with the leaks which we got before. But today I guess I kind of wanted to talk over my hopes and stuff for the game, really, as we transition over to Olaf's theme tune here, sounding as imposing as ever. Because we haven't really been given much in the way of communication and such for the past, year and a half almost. We haven't heard anything until about 2 months ago when we got the Nintendo Direct trailer, but it's nice to finally get some more footage at least, although the footage isn't anything that we haven't seen before. This is the first Advance Wars game in 15 years almost, since 2007 and 2008, so I really hope it does well, that's what I meant to say. And I guess one of my main hopes is we get Dual Strike as DLC, because it's the third part of the story and can kind of conclude the trilogy of the two games which we're getting in the initial release. Now, the main thing people are concerned about is the online play, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but I don't know, I'm hoping for balancing, I guess, is my main thing. It doesn't seem like we've been heard a lot about balancing. Oh, and here's some of the brand new voice acting, actually, which you're about to hear.
I lost again. The world are you?
Olaf doesn't sound anything like I expected, but there we are. And here is my other hope being dashed, which we see right now, which is that this is fully voice acted, which it appears not to be. I was hoping it would have been in the 2 years radio silence that we've had, and they could have had more time to work on the game, but never mind. That appears to be something that isn't been confirmed. But as I was saying, that's a nice remix of the Advance Wars 1 victory theme there. Hoping for some balancing, actually. Now, it doesn't appear like much has been changed from looking at the way the units are interacting here, and I was kind of hoping maybe that Kanbai and Colin may have been taken down a peg. I wonder which version of Sturm we're going to get to play as, if it's the Advance Wars 1 version where he's different in the campaign and a war room, or if it's just Advance Wars 2 Sturm all the way through. That would be interesting. I wonder if they've kept it faithful to each game, or if they're going to be different depending on which game we're playing. And if that's the case, if you go online, can you pick Advance Wars 1 or Advance Wars 2 version of Grit, or Sammy, or Max, for example? Because that would really greatly determine how the match goes. Advance Wars 1 Max is far stronger than Advance Wars 2 Max, for example. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry. Olaf cut me off there. Yeah, so that's something which I'm curious about and hoping we'll get some answers to see very, very soon. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on that down below, especially when it comes to the online play, because that's the main thing that people seem to be curious about. We haven't had online play for Advance Wars since the Wi-Fi online for Dark Conflict and Days of Ruin, which was kind of difficult to set up anyway because you needed to have a certain router and things and just ugh. So I never really got to play it very often, but it was enjoyable when you did. But of course, Days of Ruin is far different from Advance Wars Dual Strike and Advance Wars 2, etc., which are, frankly, in my opinion, the more fun ones to play online. If Advance Wars by web is any indication, which I've been playing non-stop for the past 3 or 4 months or so, actually. You can find me on there under the same username as my YouTube channel, actually. If you want to challenge me, you're welcome to it. I will probably lose. I'm not very good when it comes to the online play. So I guess consider it as training and warm-up for playing when the new game comes out. But is there going to be... here we go, the map editor. Yeah, we'll talk about this in a minute. Is there going to be balances when it comes to online? Are certain characters going to be locked? Is there going to be an online league of some kind where people have rankings and stuff? That's another kind of hope which I've got for when it comes to playing the online. The other one is what we're looking at right now. In the map editor, it seems you can only upload maps of a certain size, and if that's the case, then that really is going to limit people's options for playing online. In the previous trailer as well, it also said you and a friend can play online if you've got the Nintendo Switch Online subscription thing, which you have to pay money for, which I do, to be fair. Although it's only really worth it now that the Game Boy thing's come out, but I digress. So it doesn't seem like we're going to have 3-player matches or 4-player matches, which would be nice. But the main concern people have is the size of the maps. Now, if we're only going to have maps of a certain size, I can understand why they want to save on bandwidth, etc. for the servers, or if they can't support maps of a certain size, but I would really hope that we could at least get maybe 20 by 20 maps as a minimum, because anything smaller than that really is just... They're not as fun to play on, and they're really going to favour certain commanders more than others. Like Kambai, for example, loves small maps, whereas units just don't die and he can choke out his opponents. Hachi, where he can spam things and just overrun you. Colin for the same with his cheap units, actually. And Sturm with his insane firepower. I don't know. It just seems like it's going to be a very unhealthy online meta game. If that is the case, the video has now looped at this point, so you're seeing the same footage again. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm curious as to see what your hopes and such are for the new game when it comes out in like a week or so's time. Are you like me and you're hoping for Dual Strikers DLC? Because honestly, I think that would be great, particularly, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that one. Again, the online I'm hoping is going to turn out to be good. Please don't suck. And just at this point, I want to hear the rest of the character theme tunes and things. I'm curious as to what they've done with all of those. And also, if you probably noticed, actually, when Nell popped her power just now, a remix of her theme tune played as well. Now, I really want to hear what the different remixes for the character theme tunes are like, especially some of the really cool character theme tunes, in my opinion, like Jess, for example. I really want to hear Jess's kind of like, if she got like a heavy metal rock kind of thing, so that you can jam to whilst you're rolling out your tanks and stuff. That would be cool. Or Ada, if you get some kind of creepy goth rock kind of metal thrash kind of sound, that would be great. I don't know. There's any way you can take the characters, and of course the cutscenes. Is there going to be more cutscenes? I'm expecting there to be a cutscene for the opening of the game, at least. The one which we got in the Nintendo Direct back in February, I imagine is the opening cutscene for Advance Wars 1. I'm curious what the opening cutscene for Advance Wars 2 is going to be like. Is that one for when the game just starts? Is there going to be one before the campaign, like when Hawk and Stern are talking to each other? Is there going to be one at the close? I really want more animated cutscenes, because honestly, they look... Well, I say they look. The one we've seen looks fantastic. It really brings these characters to life. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but these characters have been static PNGs and text boxes for the past 20 odd years or so, and I never realised how much I needed to see them in motion, and also the voice acting. I'm curious to hear the other voice actors. The ones they've chosen are interesting. Like, some of them, like Andy in this doesn't quite seem to sound how I imagined him. Eagle doesn't sound anything like I imagined him. Even Nell doesn't sound anything like how I imagined. The one that we got for Max and the one that we got for Sammy, which you could barely hear in the most recent trailer, they sounded okay. I'm curious what Lash sounds like. Sensei, I'm really hoping is going to be funny, because he is just a balmy bonkers old man. And if they add Dual Strike, what are those characters going to sound like? It doesn't seem fair to cut those off. I'm going to hammer it home again. Give us Dual Strike, please. Anyway, I have been rambling on for the past 10 minutes or so, so I am going to love you and leave you. Cheers for joining us, for taking a look at this extra little bit of footage today. A little bit sneak peek preview. Hopefully we get some footage for Advance Wars 2. in the next couple of days or in the next week or so, because that's the kind of thing we haven't really seen very much of. We've seen a little bit of sneak peeks of certain missions, like we've seen Danger Times 9, we've seen In a Mirror Darkly, we've seen T-15 and one or two others like the Orange Star Naval Mission, which I forget the name of right now, where you fight against Lash. That escapes me. But that's about it for Advance Wars 2. I'd like to... Oh, no, we've seen the Volcano Mission as well. Excuse me, we've also seen that. And Reclamation, now that I think about it. Okay, we've seen a little bit, but we've only seen like maybe 30 seconds worth of footage. I'd like another trailer like this, showing off Advance Wars 2. Maybe some characters which we haven't seen yet. Maybe playing as Sonya, maybe playing as Jess, maybe playing as... Colin, for example. I would like to hear all and see from all of those characters, really, but this is just me rambling on now. I'm going to wrap this up. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below, as well as your hopes, I suppose, for the Reboot Camp when it comes out. As always, it has been a pleasure. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll be discussing some more Advance Wars news and potentially some more Advance Wars content. I'm hoping to get this Let's Play of a new ROM hack finished, which I've been working on very, very soon, although it is proving to be harder than I expected. So it's going to take me a little bit longer before I start putting that up yet. So subscribe for that when that comes out, and as always, take care of yourself, and I'll see you sometime very soon. Yes, I'm not telling you what the ROM hack is. You're going to have to subscribe and see. Take care, and I'll catch you then. Ta-ra for now. Bye!